Hey everybody, it's David from Harmony's Herbs back again. I told you we were coming to visit one of our good buddies, aka Johnny Rhacs. We come up to visit, and my wife loves the skink collection, so we come to check them out and see how everybody's doing during the breeding season and who's getting warmed up. So one thing I learned through the process of us actually owning a pair of shinglebacks as well is, and I think this applies to all animals in the reptile industry, is doing your research, finding a reputable breeder, things like that. So if you notice in the videos of us at our house, we have a pit that's exactly identical to what Johnny is using. And the reason we have that is because we were diligent enough to do our research. We came, we visited, we saw how the breeder was using his environment to best benefit the animals, what he was doing housing wise, cage wise, food wise, all the important things that gives you a chance to be successful, but most of all gives these animals a good quality life. So we basically got the plan from him, mimicked that. That way we knew that these rare animals were getting the best quality life that they could get, and we would get to enjoy them as much as we possibly can. I'll let Johnny tell you a little bit about these three in here. These are some very beautiful shinglebacks, and I'll let him tell you a little bit about them.
Yeah, these are Western shinglebacks, or Ragusa, Talica Ragusa. Actually, you can see right here, the middle one is the male here, and then you got two females right here. But you know, it's true exactly what David said. I think that, you know, it's a standard setter, and I think, you know, it's, as a keeper, it's a good feeling to give somebody who's kind of created that standard. It makes me feel a little bit better giving them away too, and knowing that they're going to a good home, they're going to be taken care of good. So because you get the outcome like this, you know, happy skinks, you know, having the opportunity to kind of just free roam and enjoy, you know, their you know, house, I guess, as you could say. But definitely right now too is a lot of the breeding season, so you know, this guy has been, you know, putting in some work, and you know, these girls have definitely, from what I see, have been breeding too. So but you know, it's a pleasure having you guys here, and I appreciate you guys creating that standard and making sure that, you know, they're going in the right place. And
Sure.
yeah.
Absolutely, we love it. I think the animals always have to be the most important piece. All the care has to be spot on. I think the most important thing isn't what we want and what we can gain. I think it's what we can do for these animals, especially for rare species like this. How can we move this species forward? What can we do to better benefit you know, the species itself in the United States? So I also noticed that Johnny's doing a little program here. If you want to talk a little bit about that real quick. This is with Josh.
Yeah, Josh and Jeffrey Hudson.
Yeah.
Josh Hansen and Jeff. This is for sexing. So, you know, you basically, if you see here, it has like a name and you know, your name of the lizard that you're doing. You know, you can put your email and just kind of little samples of skin testing or shed testing that I could put in. So this is going to definitely help with a lot of sex testing, like being able to tell what sex of the skink. You know, especially like early babies and stuff like that. It definitely helps. You know, being able to, you know what you're getting, and I think this is, you know, the start of that. You know, with a lot of, you know, shinglebacks and, you know, Western blue tongue skinks, Talica occipitalis, Tuca nigrolatia, the blotched. So it's definitely a big step in the herpetoculture community as well. So
Yeah, I think that's something too, that what you based on, you know, what you just talked about there with the sex testing is, you know, I see a lot of people that are posting pictures that are, you know, hey, what's the sex of this animal, things like that. Don't be afraid to ask your breeder questions. Ask your breeder about the animal. And breeders, let's you know, let's make sure we're sharing the information, make sure we're getting all this knowledge to the people that are purchasing these animals. It just gives everybody a better experience the whole way around. Just to let you know, tomorrow we're going to be going up to New York to visit the 9/11 Memorial with Johnny. We're going to do some other things, and Sunday we're going to the fam's house for some Italian dinner, which is going to be awesome. So I have my AI glasses with me. I'm going to do some funny little silly content. We're going to do some cool stuff. My wife's with me, my son's with me, so you'll see everybody in the video. You'll see Johnny again, and
Nah, this is what it's about.
Yeah.
You know, I think this is the experience. You know, you get to experience this and see what it's like to keep animals the right way, and you know, put them in people's hands, and you know, you guys get to watch exactly how things are done, and I think it creates that standard for the future. You know, I think that you know, this is pretty much temporary too. This is just me understanding how these guys work, and then I want to you know advance even more these pits and how to make it benefit. You know, because in a sense, you know, it's like going to, I use this as an example, it's like a car in a factory, you know, like, yeah, the car, the outside's built like, you know, like a cage, but it's all the key components that, you know, make it run properly. And I think that, you know, these are the opportunity to understand how these guys tick, and then adding those components to really make it function, to make the reptile function even better as well. So, you know, because we want happy animals, that's the most important thing. You know, it's not always about money. Money, to me, money lasts. I think relationships, you know, stuff like us going to New York and hanging out, that's the relationship part of it. And then
Work-life balance.
seeing how, you know, reptiles are being taken care of, I think is awesome. And that's really the future of this. So it's good that we're, you know, getting to experience that.
Absolutely. And as you can see, happy skink, happy wife. So, just a beautiful, beautiful animal. So yeah, I appreciate all the likes, all the follows, and guaranteed this weekend, crazy content, a lot of fun, and hanging out with Johnny. And you know, the thing that we've been able to build since we've come into this reptile industry is relationships. And I'll tell you what, we've made some of the best friends in the world that we could ask for. And you know, all of us working together, communicating together, sharing relationships, sharing friendships, and things like that is what we need in this hobby, and I think it's what keeps this hobby pushing forward. And so, guys, keep watching. There's going to be some cool stuff, and definitely some fun stuff this weekend. Thank you.